Hello. Hiya everyone, it's me, Leo, and I'm finally back on stream and also on Twitch and YouTube. Because technically I've been streaming, but on Discord. Hello! Hi everyone. I'm finally back. Finally back. I am barely sick anymore. I'm okay. I'm fine. And things are gonna work out. And I've actually been feeling very happy lately. I've been in a very good mood lately. So it's nice. It's a nice thing. Even though OBS tried to fight me right now. And force me to, I don't know, do things that I... Kirby, fuck off. Kirby, fuck off. No, I'm leaving. Goodbye. No, Kirby. You're not getting me, Kirby. There's no way. You've been in a better mood after starting Path of Exile. I'm happy for you. He was just happy to see me. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thank you for the bits, Navath, anyway. In any case, yep. And, no, Dizu, I did not come back with milk. I don't have any milk with me, actually. I should buy some milk. I should go buy some milk tomorrow, you know? Yeah, he said hi. Oh, yeah! She also sent me a DM. She said she was sorry she wouldn't be able to, she would be able to be there for stream. It was very lovely. It was a very, very lovely message she sent me. I like Yay, she's a good friend. So yeah, as you might have seen from the title, well, not from the title, from the category, I am going to be playing today the game Bad End Theater, which is a game that takes like an hour. You can ping Piku. Piku was planning to be there, but yeah, is in the game. Yeah, Piku is in the game, but like, this is a game that takes around an hour. So I have two other short games that are also story games that might or might not be played today. I will still take it easy if I feel like my throat or anything is too tired. If I'm still a little too sick, because I do want to be able to stream normally next week. But yeah, I have two other things on the plan for today. I have Enna Dream Barbecue, a game that you might know about because a bunch of other streamers have played it. And also there's the animation on YouTube and everything. Can't believe sickness keeps driving me. Yeah. I've never been that sick that much ever in my life. I've never actually been sick that much in my life before. I might have, like, I don't know. I don't know what I've been doing wrong, or maybe it's because of the weather that's worse, or maybe I'm stupider than before, I don't know. But yeah, like, I've never been that sick. It's actually crazy. Anyway, the two other games, as I said, Enna Dream Barbecue, and the other one is something that I bet a lot less people know about. It's a thing called Project Cat, and it is the prologue to the game called Paper Lily. No, I haven't been to Jupiter. No, I haven't. It's the lack of Loa. His fact as a giant fluffy for you. I got sick a lot before he was gone, you know. No, actually, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. The reason I'm sick right now, well, it was just a cold. It was just a cold. But the reason I got that cold, it was it was my fault. I'm pretty sure it was my fault. Because I was taken with, I know, do not be scared, but I was taken with wanderlust. I wanted to go outside and do things outside. I know, we are in the VTubing community, the outside is scary and all of that, but I wanted to go outside. I wanted to... Actually, the thing I wanted to do is go at a cafe and like go at a cafe with my laptop, my headphones, and just listen to music and write with a nice coffee and a nice piece of cake. That was my plan for the afternoon. The problem is, Phoenix, is that the outside that day did not have that much sun and was much colder than I thought. And when you drive a electric scooter when it's cold, you are blasted with cold wind on your face, on your throat. And I ended up not staying at the cafe. I just reached the place. I was like, no, actually, I don't feel about it. I'm happy with just having gone out. And I came back home. I was like, oh, I'm cold. I am very cold. That was actually very cold outside, much colder than I expected. And I got sick 2 days later. Aha. Yeah. So yeah, the cold right now, I'm pretty sure it's my fault. Anyway, as I was saying, the second game, well, maybe third, we'll see, game I might be planning to play today because I want to play it any case. Is, like I said, a game called Project Cat. And it is the prologue to the game called Paper Lily. It's a psychological horror, I guess, half visual novel, half RPG. Kind of like, think of, what is it? Corpse Party, basically. And why do I use the scooter? Oh, I use the scooter. It's an electric scooter. The thing you stand on, you know? Like, you go vroom. It's like, in French, I'd say a trottinette électrique. But yeah, like, it's, you stand on it and you just zoom. It's actually very pleasant to be outside and use it. Like, it's actually just very pleasant. I go vroom. Yeah, I go vroom. And also with the price of gas lately, it's just smarter to not use gas. So yeah, if the place is close enough, I will use the electric scooter because one, it's nice to use. I really like using it, like feeling the wind on my face and everything when I drive. And then it's also much, much, much cheaper than using gas. It's also much more practical because you can park it anywhere you would park a bike, basically. You can park an electric scooter anywhere you could park a bike. So yeah, it's actually very, very useful and practical. You don't have a car, so you don't share that pain. I mean, you know, they killed the evil clone. It happens. It happens. You know, it happens. I mean, we played Resident Evil. We spent all of our time killing evil clones, technically. Not of ourselves, but still. So yeah, to go with what I mentioned about the Paper Lily game and also other things, today is going to be very much a story game day. You know, we're going to play a game with a lot of stories, when story is the most important and the gameplay is going to be very secondary. And I feel like I kind of want to do more of those because I really enjoy stories and nice stories, and I want to share them with you guys because I feel more comfortable doing that now, I guess. Like, I thought it would not be entertaining before, honestly. I thought like just story would not be entertaining, but I'm starting to understand that I am me, and I don't care, and I'm going to do my thing. The current situation doesn't make electricity prices spike. Oh yeah. Like the electricity prices are just the same right now for me. Yeah. I mean, for once, I am very happy that when I renovated my home, I was very glad that everything is electricity. Like, I used to not be glad about it at all because electricity is expensive, but the price of electricity hasn't changed. And I was like, huh, nice. Now, yeah, I'm very glad. Like, if my house were to work on like gas, holy shit, it would be terrible. Prices are like doubled or something. We have nuclear power. So, fun fact, most of my electricity comes from wind farms. The company that provides my electricity, like most of it comes from wind farms. So, you know, it still works. I mean, as long as I don't pay too much for it, I'm not gonna be sad about it. I'm gonna be happy. Okay, so I don't know how I missed a game like Bad End Theater for so long. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I did not even know that game existed before Piku forced it upon me. Because before Piku... No, not that. Hi, Frag. Before Piku gifted the game to me. Basically, Piku realized, wait, you never played this? And just sent it to me on Steam. But yeah, I didn't even know it existed. And then I saw the image and I was like, wait, this is the profile picture my moderator and personal friend has used for many years. So that's what it's from! So yeah. So the other thing I've seen is that apparently it's very yuri. It's very lesbian, very gay, but also very cute and also kind of sad. And yeah, it's good. Apparently it's just very good. And cute. Also, it's very cute, apparently. Yes, striking. It is Gage. Understand, Leo. With Piku, you just accept things happening. Like, it's guess we are making Yuri. Guess we're making Yuri now. Yeah. Yay for gay. So yeah, I guess it's a game that's very much about making decisions, reaching bad endings, because apparently it's only bad endings or something in this game. I don't know. It's the concept of the game that's bad endings. But yeah, we'll see. You know what? I feel like playing the game. I feel like playing the game, so I'm gonna play the game. Oh, by the way, if I don't feel like playing a game after this one or overall today, I already know what I want to do. The thing I want to do in that case is go back to Box Room and X. So yeah, as I said, if after this game I don't feel like playing anymore, I'm gonna go back to Box Room. If you don't remember, this is the game when we sort my Steam library. And I thought it was such a nice time for us the last time I thought it was such a good time for us to just chat about games as I sort them that I want to do it again. And like I said, I will one day manage to reach full library sorted. What? Oh. What's the volume of the game for you guys? Also, oh, Hype Train, choo-choo. Thank you for the bits, Strike in the Vath. Thank you. I have been consumed by butter, so weird. Good volume, okay. No, there is no reason for me to get sticky keyed right now. Okay. I guess we can... Wait. Oh! I guess we can enter. Bad End Theater. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. Huh. We'll make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. Okay. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. The demon doll or the human doll. They're both kind of cute. I really like the shape of their head. I'm gonna be the demon doll. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy just minding your own business. Yeah? Okay. How will you interact with the human doll? Wicked. Attack it. Wicked. Wait. I'm hiding it. I'm gonna put myself on the other side of the screen. It does stuff like hidden. Whoop, 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 yoop, yoop. Okay, I'm gonna put myself right under you guys. And go. See, it says wicked. Attack it or play nice. I'm not gonna attack it. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna play nice. You try to make friends with a human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry. The story needs not end here. Let it reset the stage and try again. This time try concerning the other doll, the human doll. You're a friendly little guy just minding your own business. Oh, you interact with the demon doll. I'm gonna play nice. You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. So the human was the only evil one from the very beginning, huh? I mean, it did say that the demon one was just minding his own business. He's just fierce looking. Okay. Okay. Why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited to my theater whatsoever. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you choose during your last playthrough. Oh wait, to what I chose during my last playthrough. Oh! Oh, so I can see different outcomes by technically one after the other choosing what each character has done or will do. Oh! Yeah, because I played nice with the demon too, I also could get the happy ending, yeah. But now you can turn each one of on and or off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behavior on and off to see the different outcomes. So demon doll, you control the demon doll. Oh wait, no. Attack it, you kill the human doll, how ruthless. End of tutorial. Reset. If they're both hostile, if I make them both hostile, and I play the demon doll, and I attack, you both attack each other at once and die together. Oh, I see. That's a very cool concept. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Do you understand how to play? Yes, I get it. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Hey. I'm gonna try and create good endings, huh? Now, without further ado. You played this precisely when there was a silence in the game. I thought that was part of the game. I thought that shit was part of the game. Thank you for the bits. You completed the tutorial. Enjoy the show. There's 41 endings. Navath. So we have the hero, a maiden. Well, let's call the hero, a maiden, an underling, and the overlord. So we have, as a lot of people in chat can see, the maiden. This is the PFP that my moderator, Pico Pixel, has used for many years. Holy shit, he's here. I didn't know you were a maiden, Pico. The more you know. Okay, the hero, the maiden, the underling, and the overlord. Okay, I'm gonna be like straight for real with you guys. I know being straight in this game actually is not gonna help that much, but still. The maiden and the overlord are super cute. Like already I see those two and I'm like, oh god, they're cute. The underling looks kind of cute too, and honestly,
word around the office is you've got a fat cock. My brain did the fucking mental gymnastics trying to think, wait, was Pico in VC again? But I'm not in a VC right now. Let's go in order. I'm gonna try each of them in order to see. You are the hero. You'd like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. They don't always have a choice, hero guy. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. Oh boy. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. And then it starts. You know what? Let's play the role of the hero and bravely slaughter the creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. I don't feel good about this. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Oh, ask if they'll join or cut through the demon army. A bit bloody there here. Yep. I'm gonna try to cut through. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. Yeah, surely it's that easy. Yeah, surely. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chamber. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. I love the art. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. I said she was cute! If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief. Your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. You can see the detail that this is not a good decision at all. Like the blood stains. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world. But what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Huh. The failed hero stage. Okay, I'm gonna try. No, I'm not gonna make him beautiful. I'm gonna try another path as the hero. Okay. And this time I'm gonna flee. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. Okay, so we could flee without killing. Ask if... would you guys let me in? Please? You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home. The maiden was never found. What? The useless hero and... Bruh! Okay, now I kind of want to see... I'm gonna do nothing on the hero. I'm gonna play the maiden. I'm gonna try and do like a straight path for everyone. You are a maiden. No, I'm not. You live in a peaceful village next to the spooky demon Overlord's castle. I guess diplomacy is not an option. No, it was an option. You are told you are fated to be captured by the Overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon Overlords apparently love capturing those. Ah. You think you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity, who knows? I love her face. Oh. You are in church, you pray to your god, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what's the point of it is. You are impatient. Can't they just fucking kidnap me already? Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Pretty gosh darn exciting! Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note in venture forth to find a demon just to, see what happens. She captured herself, she just left. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. I can shout for the hero to save me, or I can introduce myself politely. Okay, I'm gonna try the polite way afterwards. I'm gonna shout. You yell, but the hero does not come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? When did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything. Of course, this was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, I guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden. Okay, I'm gonna try and do it different this time. Let's be polite this time. Okay. Introduce myself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. She looks so happy. And so nice. Oh. Okay. So the fate of the maiden is to be eaten or eaten. I guess to change her fate, we need to change the behavior of the underling. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off the throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's not. I'm going to do let's not. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life would be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably there's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. You're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, you really wanted to go out. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. You consider your options. Let's hear her out. You're in a good mood today. You're rather curious about what the maiden has to say. The underling is so tiny. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would be even possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. She's so nice. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mentioned how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. Oh boy. She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course! She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. In the first hero path, Maiden got eaten by the underling and never reached the castle. I bet, yeah. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say you're planning a whole revolution. They're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. And being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, that sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead? Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. You know what? Let's collect the endings. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. The faithful underling end. Okay, I'm gonna continue the underling just to try and unlock the maximum amount of things. Okay, I'm gonna skip. And now we try to overthrow her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back? That face? You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. What? You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends are very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. Okay. I'm gonna not eat her, and I'm gonna see what he says to the Overlord. Interesting enough present. Even considered overthrowing her. That was just a joke. Okay, okay. We say the same things. They wake me up. And they want to be sure. Let's kill the Overlord. I don't know why, I feel like the Overlord is going to destroy all of them and they have no chance. Because they completely underestimate her. I don't know why, this is what I feel. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if the assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of full confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. This one is cute too. I like the demon girls. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you follow her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. But you can't come back. You can't back down though. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Oh. There is a coward option. I'm gonna try the time to die. You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you just do that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. Oh. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased. Only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the very beginning. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you had betrayed your overlord. Lord, Underling, and B. Ah. Okay, I want to see the coward ending. I just want to see the coward ending. Let's not... You know what? Let's eat her this time. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought and feel quite proud of that. All the humans will surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village? Wait! The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Oh! You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running toward you. He takes you in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. That was worth it. Bruh. Okay. Okay, not hungry, not polite. I'm gonna just... Okay, underling, skip. Let's overthrow her. Oh, wait! I removed the politeness. Oh! I removed the politeness, so now she screams. Tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to have each their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what I gather, she's here to see the overlord. Okay. Okay, let's kill the overlord. Chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. Turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panic whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The overlord stays in her bed. While your head is turned, the demons shut the door. You scramble into the overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you.
Did I jump scare you?
Hey, ATB.
Yeah, I bet I did. You coward.
Thanks for the
You
redeem.
make me sick. Your weakness is pathetic.
There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Lights flicker at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You hear the overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the overlord burn together. Oh. The cowardly underling. Okay. Now, we remove all, and we're gonna try to be the overlord. You are the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think? Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the highest standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? So that's how she's acted until now. I'm gonna grant him the day off. Tell him to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from a nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient, thinking that her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. I love the maiden, she's so silly. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Aww. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. You just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Antisocial, tell her to go home. Let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away, she just got here. Aww. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You're glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke like maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and that you were actually super evil all along. Oh, that face. She's so smug. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. Piku, you should steal this and add humu humu, and that would be a perfect emote. She looks so Piku, yeah. Add the humu humu, and boom, that's an emote here. You can't tell if she's into you or not. Oh. Oh. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time, it's a hero. Oh. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that his whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. A surprise that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Oh! I'm gonna try to let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. Until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle would they rule from if this one burns? That's very true. You don't want to believe that your underling have betrayed you. This is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Okay, I kind of want to try and take some of the other choices. Day off. Stay for a while. And I'm going to try to keep her to see what happens. Ooh, the maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. If you are, I'd be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. The selfish overlord and... If I make her polite, and then I don't make the underling hungry... Let's see. I'm gonna try and flee. Ask if I'm gonna be let in. Okay. You look at each other in surprise and confusion. There is no time to hesitate. Destroy the overlord. Asks the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, to reassure everyone of her safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. The overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Okay, the thing is, if we kill the demons on the way, they can't set fire to the castle. I want to try that. So, kill the evil creature, cut through the demon army. Okay. Oh. You can't send anything sinister. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There is no time to hesitate. Ask the maiden what is going on. She explained that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asked why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try. The overlord is inconsolable. Holy shit. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, can't help but think you probably deserved this. The tragic hero, he accepts his punishment. Huh. I'm gonna try to be the maiden and see how deep we can go if we don't get eaten. You are the maiden. Introduce yourself. The demon doesn't seem to have been really listening to you, which is a little irritating. Look at him! They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plan to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, it doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told the demon would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen, then a hero would come to your rescue. You want to believe you've been lied to all along? Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. Ah, you insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuses to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. I really love the facial expressions of the characters in this. You may be different, but really they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all this time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first, but until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you would never in any danger. The hero expresses his belief that his whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. Stop in your tracks, the castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this, you have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord is among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. How were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden? Saving the Overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Man! Okay. I make him dutiful.
but I'm gonna play the Overlord. How to get the other maiden traits then? I don't know, but I feel like we need to play with things. Wait, what does it say? Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna try this because from the Overlord position, maybe I can forgive him, even if he killed the demons. That's what I'm curious about. Go back to work. I'm happy with you, sure, thank you. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. Dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick. They took an unauthorized break away from the castle. Scold them, but ultimately you're not interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the... Okay, maiden I've done. Let her stay for a while. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing. No big deal. You know he's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden, but tell her that your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero busts into your room. We shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle has really taken it out of you. The hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing, but you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there is nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Oh, wow. Wow. Huh. Okay, maybe maiden from the perspective of a murderous hero. Underling when hero. I'm gonna try and make it dutiful. And maybe heroic, but maybe as the maiden we can act somewhere. Introduce myself. Hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes towards the Overlord, sword drawn. Try to protect her. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined this would be the way that you die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You're glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out alright for your new friend. The Sacrificial Maiden. Okay, so we do have the Martyr option now. Dies to protect the Overlord. Okay, I'm curious about this as I play the Underling. She's cool with it. I set out my adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites me.
I'm gonna tell her to quit yelling. They go along just fine. You go for a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. Aha! You emerge from your room to find a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades or save yourself. I'm gonna try and... Okay, I'm gonna do the avenge my fallen comrades. I'm here killing everyone like some maniac. What do you ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever you notice you were feeling kinda down. You like that guard. You wish all of your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You have earned your rest. Okay. I did it for the ending, but... Save myself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle until you remember your role, as an underling and as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep, dark forest somewhere. The deserter underling, okay. Because the thing is, if we make him kill the demons, it basically throws the Overlord off completely. What happens if we play him hungry? Because we haven't done that, playing him eating her and coming back home afterwards. We actually haven't played that out. I'm gonna try. Yeah, gobble her up. Change your mind and leave the village. You figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day has been adequately refreshing. You return to castle thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. Okay, and we are back to the revolution thing. Okay, so this is the same ending. The ones that have the least endings done so far are the maiden and the... Oh! I can see the branches! Oh! Now that is interesting. Oh, okay, that helps. That helps a lot. Okay, so if I want to try and do more on her... Oh! When she's forced back home! I'm gonna do this, but she's gonna say no to me staying. Introduce myself. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Oh, we can be obedient or not now. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. I love how she's so head empty. She's like, hee hee. Okay. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is like right here? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve? You're very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way and live in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intention to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growling unruly. You understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without arm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been like... Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? Oof. Oof, big oof. You wonder how you missed that before. You're seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. I've always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. The Executed Maiden. Okay. So we got all of those. Now I'm gonna replay it, but I'm gonna say fuck no to the Overlord. I refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! Oh. And then we reach the same ending. Okay. I kind of want to try and save the Overlord, though. Oh, wait. I have an idea. Let's try this. If you leave... Okay, no. It doesn't change anything. Okay. She mentioned that a hero can only do that, so you have to somehow convince hero to rush the burning castle with her. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like trying to get the hero to save the Overlord would be like the big end thing. Huh. He clearly has the simplest one. We've done all of those bad endings, and there's only 3 endings that we're missing here. But there's a lot for the others. Maiden behavior. Obedient, she runs from you. Obedient, you talk. Wait. Oh, when she is obedient. Huh. If we make her possessive and we play it from the point of view of the maiden, what does it look like? The Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. If you're nervous, the hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go. Maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, be forced to vanquish you. Leave me no choice. Okay, and now she jumps the hero. The hero approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expressions is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. I'm afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Okay. So the one I just had was this one. There's a link with him being disloyal? Wait. if I do this, is it gonna change things? Oh! But the Overlord stops because she never took her nap in that story. The Overlord stops, or rather someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Oh, so that's how you read this. That is how you read this. So basically, if I go obedient... Okay. Oh. So if I go antisocial, obedient, and then he's a coward, I have a bad end. But if he's disloyal, I have a different thing. And this is the face of the hero. Okay. No. If I make him disloyal, I make her obedient, but I make him beautiful. I'm gonna be giving him the day off. I'm gonna be antisocial. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure out you may well go back to bed now. You don't get to rest for very long. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. Oh, okay. You try to struggle, but you can't tell. You can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? Remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how he repays you? You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay. Is that the one? Okay, I just got this one. Wait, hungry and dutiful? This doesn't matter. Okay, go. I'm gonna grind the day off. Wake to a huge commotion outside. A hero has shown up and started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and very rudely inquire his reason for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding in return the maiden you hold in captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting your own army or unable to defeat him. With these decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall, you have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the Overlord in first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you're swallowed by darkness. Okay. And that was... yeah. Okay. Lamenting her lack of strength. Wait. If I go... okay. Those actually... oh, day off reaches those, and get back to work is those. Okay. Get back to work, but I make him a coward. I have a bad end. I make it disloyal, but I'm missing something from him. Maybe if I make him diplomatic? I wonder. So I need to be a tyrant? You are awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought you a hero and inquires about a missing maiden. You tell him you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home. The You're surprised, you figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something. Okay. You guess a hand choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you're going to do anything to prevent this. Okay. So that was the same ending. So that's not diplomatic that I need here. Letting the maiden and hero go. It's the Piku game. Yes, it is. Oh, this is just... I know exactly how to reach it, but I just haven't done it with her. This is just another bad ending. Because there's two things we haven't managed to do so far. Is that she stays with the Overlord, like actually completely stays with the Overlord, which I think is what's going to make us reach this part. And there's also... I mean, it's still seems... There's also this whole part here I haven't done, which relies on antisocial and obedient. And she is the one that should be taking the choice. No, he? Okay. So, antisocial, obedient. So, not hungry, obedient, antisocial. With the hero. I'm not gonna be dutiful. On your way to the Overall's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overall's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right here? It's dangerous! The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Wait, did we already have trusting with him? You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though your story is kind of hard to believe. You feel that you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They have all been so worried, they praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for an explanation. You politely inform them there isn't your story to tell, you merely run into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord is uninterested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They are all being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally just in case. Oh, the plot thickens! The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says that all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already. But that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. Can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You violently dash after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopping in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a sec, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now, you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No. Going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Okay. We've discovered trusting. But now it depends on the maiden and on the underling. If I make him a coward, does that change anything on this path specifically? Believe her story. Okay, it doesn't change anything. And if I make her a tyrant? Okay, it doesn't change anything. I should actually do the bad ending. I'm sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad she took care of it herself. Glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand by idly as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape that sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. The castle burns down. Watches as the maiden burns. Those are just bad endings. I need to try and reach this. So, to reach this, we need him to be trusting and this one to be disloyal. You love the music in this? Yeah, like everything, it's very interesting. It's honestly very interesting. How about Marta? I'm gonna try... Okay, polite. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who apparently told all to not leave their post. You wonder what that cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the overlord turns to you, looking very interested. Okay. Obedient. He is very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. So you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They have all been worried, and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You said quickly, okay. The village seemed confused and looked to the hero for an explanation. She hasn't already run into you. You explain to them how you met the overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens. Oh, wait! Guys, I have an idea. It's like the crowd. The crowd agrees with him. Of course, if you're conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let your guy down. The whole village will be slaughtered by monsters. The hero doesn't say anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into the cell. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the overlord, not you, fellow countrymen. Grab the hero and run. Look at her. She is that is the face of resolution. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. As you approach the castle, you notice something's gone terribly wrong. It appears to be on fire. Is the overlord alright? You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping. Fuck! Okay. She is polite, obedient, and resolute, but we play the hero's role now. Maybe we can choose to follow her. Believe her story. The maiden announces that she's going to prove a story to the village. She drags you along with her. She has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits. I love her face. About halfway there, the maiden suddenly stops. Something's not right. The overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. Ah, shit. Okay. Wait, do I need him to be disloyal now? Wait. When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. That's right! When we played the Underling... Wait, guys. When we played the Underling, it said that they went outside of the castle to talk before trying to stab her. When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating their overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. You have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you, eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? They begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that he's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its slim body you can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this. You envy her. The two of you, the overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. That is huge progress. That is huge progress. Now, we keep this, but I'm gonna be... you go away, you use the whole arc. We all burn together. That's huge progress, right? Okay, I'm gonna be the overlord in this now. I'm gonna be the tyrant. I'm gonna tell her to go home. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up. Lately all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, hear, ah, fuck. In an instant the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You still feel anger and frustration. You don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot, knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. And now I can be merciful. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You're all burned together. Overlord True End! Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself, what was the point of all my efforts if the true ending is this terrible? I mean, yeah, you must have forgotten where you were. The bad end theater? Is the pain setting in? Oh, you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you're all going to find that in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Oh wait, nope. Well, day off. Go home. Forgive them. Yes, I know. You couldn't resist seeing for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what would happen if you collect them all. Would you give you into despair? Or... Okay, that's what I wanted to click. Huh. And the other bad ending is me killing him there. The other bad ending is me killing him. The thing is, if I do the same thing and she's merciful, okay, I'm gonna try. Merciful, and I'm gonna play the maiden in this. Polite, obey, grab the hero and run. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons. They're talking about assassinating the overlord. You have to warn her. The hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, do you think? What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? I'm seeing like the color palette. The color palette keeps on changing all the time. It's actually very cool. The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and your reliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. She followed my frantic explanation. Clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. I need to drink some water. I've kept on talking a lot today. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. Surprised they were a part of this evil plot, they seem so nice. The other demons coming right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone shouting at each other now, it's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the other lord demands silence. She frightens them with violence, and you think she's very overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. Sorry. I had to cough a little. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. They lock you all in. You have a bad feeling about this. And whoosh! And thinking that, you must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero would have stumbled into this situation. If only you had ignored those demons before. If you had pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. Oh, that. If you couldn't have done that, that path. You couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes their underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relief, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? So that is... It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But tracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within the story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Oh. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. What? What? You didn't know you could do that. But what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. I mean, he's a cute little guy. I could be this cute little guy. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. Honestly, the overlord is wife, and the maiden is wife too. They're both wife. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? I just feel like saying hi, guys. You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be... Her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relieve one of the many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me. Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of these bad endings. Then frankly, you never should have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? It's all that left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. How will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Was that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try again. Attack. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't really exist in this world after all. Roar! Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautifully tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed 25 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? Do you truly care for them that much? They're real for me! They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here, to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. You find a hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. What? Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Oh, are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon, you're... How can you explain in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We couldn't really have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us? Murderer! I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Your reign of terror is here, Tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Okay, we summon her! You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. I love her so much. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. And perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach a place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me! The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You warn me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. This should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. I'm gonna summon the little guy. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into the story right now. You'll tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. This underling snickers. You asked what kind of job did a realtor have. It'd be best if I have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends, who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. That is a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle? The underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Attacks with a terrible fate. And now we summon the Overlord! You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire. To see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. I drafted them, yeah. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? I explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding our demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings suddenly think I should be more aggressive with the humans like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. Oh. Can't help but think it's a little late into the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely. Only surrounded by soldiers, instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well. I will follow you. The Overlord would now fight alongside you. I'd be a friend to her. See, so this is tragedy. Oh, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peaceful long enough. Prepare to die. I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. The terrible fate. Now the whole party's here. Can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. I'm gonna go for hope. Our true ending to exist, they simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. I'm gonna go with ambition for her. I reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Knock me down and just come back stronger. The underling uses the tenacity to overcome tragedy. This is it. Everyone's heart united. You take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Why do I feel like this is not gonna work? Or is it? You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Ah! I want those as stickers. I need stickers of those. Thank you, underling. Thank you, Overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad hand theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. It might not be that deep, but... It deserves a good ending too. I'm gonna say I'm satisfied. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy ending should always come easily. Reality is not so kind. We've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Your true end. Aww. It kept, like, the thing that was interesting is basically all of the characters kept on saying that maybe they were not made to be who they are. Oh! Wait. Oh, look at them. Yeah, the underling must have been wearing the heroes' outfits. Oh. That was such a good time. That was such a nice time playing this. That's not the end. I mean, I barely have half of the endings in this. I'm pretty sure there's other things to discover in this. But it was such a nice time. You were done with my bad endings and now you're back for more. I have to cancel out your true ending if you want to go back to the way things were before our final battle. So we begin the resetting? Oh! Wait, do I need to reset everything? Am I supposed to reset everything now? Huh. I know we're gonna go through tragedy story somehow. The thing is, okay, if I do Nevermind, okay, I don't have a choice. In any case, I don't have a choice. So if I do reset, oh, okay, reset to before the true end, because there is a thing. There is a thing. I actually haven't done the true end for him and him, but like, tragedy did tell us, but what would happen if you had all of the bad endings, basically? Huh. There were 2 shows after credits because something missing, so I suppose the story is after we get all 41. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure there is a special ending if you have everything. So if you have, like, if you grinded for all of the bad endings before, all of that, then you go to the final fight. In that case, you get a special ending. Okay, I can basically, whenever I want, go to the final fight now. Now I can go to the final fight whenever I want. But it's still a cool game. Yeah. Like, honestly, so far, first of all, thank you, Piku, for making me play this. I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know that game existed. So I really have to say, thank you so much for making me know this. It's very cool. It was such just a nice time. Piku MVP. Piku is the MVP of today. Yes, definitely. Huh. It was like, it's the Piku game. Yeah, that was my reaction. It was like, yeah, it's the Piku game. I just had a good time with it. That was just a good time. There's nothing else to say that this was a good time. Have you tried any of the other games by the same person, Piku? That person made 3 other games. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty curious too. There's one that's called Her Tears Were My Light, and 2 games that are called Syrup and the Ultimate Suite, and Syrup 2 Candy Alchemy RPG. And yes, mostly female characters, female protagonist, and multiple endings. So it seems to be the same kind of things. And at worst, those games have a very positive review on Steam. And I think it is because they don't have enough reviews, like amount of reviews, to have the overwhelmingly positive. Also, most of those games are like $2 to $5. It's made by someone called Num Num Nemi. I love the name Num Num Nemi. Num Num. Num Num Nemi. Okay, guys. I gotta say, I think we should at some point try the other games of this person. But 2 things. 1, she's releasing a new games in 4 days. She's releasing a new game in 4 days called Charm Studies. Yeah, first of all. And second, she just released 3 days ago a short horror visual novel. And apparently she made a ton of games. She made 17 games. That person made 17 games. What the hell? Hell, there's even an 18 plus game. That's a lot, yeah. And that person has done everything themselves. Like, she's done this everything herself. And I feel like this, you have the same vibe in everything she makes. It's like a lot of emotion and very nice. And she made mostly. Oh, by the way, the game we just we were playing right now, Bad End Theater. I'm gonna go back to the main menu. I want the music. I mean, fuck. I can't go back to the main menu. Shit. What I was about to say. This was made with Renpy. The thing we're playing right now. This was made with Renpy. And otherwise, they use they use RPG Maker VX8. Of course, they use RPG Maker. Yeah, they make the art, the music, the story. They make everything themselves. It's actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. It's very impressive. Okay, question to everyone. I don't know if I feel like doing all of the bad endings in a row just to grind to see one little tidbit at the end. So I say we have two choices. We can play the short RPG Maker horror game that I was planning to play anyway. Or we can try the... I don't know if it's short or not. Game made by the person that made Bad End Theater, and that is a horror visual novel that was released 3 days ago. Which is, what do you feel like, guys? I'm gonna make a poll. Tough choice. Yes, I know, tough choice. So, question. What do we play now? So, the game is called Escape from Wormwood. So, I tell you guys right now, Escape from Wormwood is the game made by Num I forgot the name already of the creator. Num Num Nami. The other one is Project Cat. RPG Maker. I can't type more things. Okay, I'm gonna make the poll 10 minutes while we chat. Let's go 5. Let's go 5 minutes while we chat. So, Escape from Wormwood. So the first one is the one by the creator of the game we just played, by Num Num Nami, that created Bad End Theater, and that is their new game that released 3 days ago. Project Cat is basically it's horror, but one is a horror visual novel and the other one is horror RPG Maker game. I see that the vote is very complicated because no one is voting. Are you guys gonna end up going, you choose, you're the streamer? Is that what you guys are gonna end up doing? Telling me to choose because I'm streamer. I am Mr. Streamer. But yeah, like, I had to check if that person made all the stuff. I had to check if that person made all the stuff. That creation was too good. That game was too fun. And man, they're so cute. All of the characters are so cute. I think I'll try and 100% this. This is the kind of game I'd enjoy like on my own, just take my time and like 100%. Seeing this makes me want to do pixel art again also. Every time I don't have the energy to do it. I am not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to do pixel art. Okay, in any case, I'm gonna download... by the way, Escape from... both of the games are free. Because Escape from Wormwood is on itch.io. And the other one is a free... It's basically a 1-hour prologue to a game called Paper Lily. Basically. If you want, I can tell you guys the... I'm gonna tell you guys the premise of each. So, Escape from Wormwood is a horror visual novel where you get cut up and eaten by mouse cultists. Okay. Apparently, the game is much darker than this person's usual content, but there's a happy ending. They promise there's a happy ending. The other one, Project Cat, is a short, unconventional RPG horror game in which there is always another way. Solve puzzles, make friends or not, and guide Cat as she attempts to uncover the mystery behind a strange golden letter. Honestly, I'm down to play either of them. I mean, I'm gonna end up playing both at some point. It's just which one do we play now? Steam, stop trying to sell me porn games. God damn it. I was shaking like the Steam page of Project Cat, and it was like, oh, if you like this, you also might like this game. And one of the two of the 4 games that were recommended are porn games. I'm like, there's nothing to do with that in Project Cat. Like, the tags of Project Cat are pixel graphics, anime, story rich, and psychological horror. Like, it has nothing to do with it. But hey, you know, that's how it is. I guess in some way it must be my own fault, I don't know. Okay, well, it seems mostly that people have voted. It seems. I'm gonna keep this playing for the music for now. The music was very nice. I really want to find the ending credit song. Like, really. The ending credit song was very, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna get Escape from Wormwood now. I have no idea how long the game is, though. One thing about Escape from Wormwood, I have no idea how long the game is. It might be an actual full game. That might take us much more time than we have. We'll see. And goodbye, bad ending. Yeah, I'm saying goodbye. Aw, I'm sad now. Okay, I'm going to remove myself from the middle of the screen. There. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to put my head. Just my head. There. Yeah, much better. Okay, so we're going to go for Escape from Wormwood. I'm going to launch it, and I'm going to try and make it appear on screen. Pop, pop, pop. Game capture. I'm going to call it Wormwood.
Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. You coward. You make me sick.
Oh,
your
that
weakness
is
is pathetic.
Okay, we might be a little better now. Oh, no. Okay. Maybe like this. Okay. English. Okay. Num Num Nummy presents. Can you hear the sound, guys? Oh yeah, you can. It's actually pretty loud. Escape from Wormwood. Blood, gore, destructive cults, and cannibalism. Okay. Okay. I mean, there's not much in those kind of games. Let me see if I can find a category to put this in, because I'm not sure it's gonna escape from Wormwood. Wait, it exists. It exists on Twitch. There is 0 followers. There's no one, but it exists on Twitch. Let's go. Well, I guess now we're gonna try another Num Num Nummy game, and we're gonna play Escape from Wormwood. Let's go. We discover it together. Bling. When you come to, you're in a strange and unfamiliar dark room. Your stomach aches and you feel nauseous. Thick ropes bind your chest tightly, but they aren't the source of your pain. Also, I'm gonna... Yeah, there. You remember now. Several days ago, you left on a research expedition into the rainforest with 2 of your colleagues. Forced to do a little foraging on the way back, the 3 of you ingested some berries that you're sure now were poisonous. Your colleagues sit beside you, unmoving. The air smells like metal. Oh, choices. Check surroundings, think about you got here, try to wake the others. I'm going to check my surroundings first. You squint hard, willing your eyes to adjust to the lack of light. You'd almost guess that it must be late in the day, maybe even night, if not for the stream of light tracing a single door frame. A small window sits in the upper center of this door, papered over with grime and dust. The bars over it remind you of a prison cell. The room itself is rather sparse. A large wooden table stands in the far corner against the wall near the door. Beside the table is a pile of things. You can't tell exactly what the pile consists of, but it might be your belongings. The floor beneath you is damp, with dark puddles that your mind refuses to register as blood. These puddles ebb toward a graded drain. If you were to vomit, which you feel very inclined to do, you guess it would be drained as well. I'm going to think about how I got here. To help stave off your panic. Stave off. You try to think of everything you know for certain. You're an anthropologist. You came to a foreign land to study ancient civilizations and learn more about various cultures in the region. Accompanying you on your journey is a fellow researcher whose work you've admired for years, and a cultural expert who was supposed to act as your translator and guide. Unfortunately, this expert had faked his credentials, leading you to believe he was far more knowledgeable than he actually was. Soon enough, it became obvious he had gotten the 2 of you completely lost. Then, there was a physical altercation that resulted in losing the bulk of your supplies. The 3 of you, now fighting for survival, had decided to risk ingesting what seemed to be like perfectly safe berries. Do not eat random berries in the jungle, guys! You succumbed to their poison, lost consciousness and woke up here. Let's try and wake the others. Pete! Pete! You whisper urgently to the witch beside you, but she doesn't respond. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect a witch. I was suddenly launched into fantasy, like a cute witch. Squirming against your restraints, you attempt to lean your head on her chest to listen for a heartbeat. After a few moments, you're sure you can hear one, faintly, despite the distracting pounding in your own chest. Is that a mouse person? She has a tail and ears. The current state of the rat. Oh, it's a rat. Okay. Beside her is something you won't be able to confirm for yourself. The door suddenly opens, starting you back into an upright position. You shut your eyes tightly to shield them from the harsh daylight. A masked being has entered the room. Hi. They approach. Your eyes remain locked on them the entire time. Then they move past you and over to the rat. The stature is that of a child's. That's typical of a mouse, you think. When they pull out a knife, you pray that it isn't a child at all. And when they lift the rat's arm and glide their blade down it, you pray that it's a sadistic adult acting alone. Because if they're a lone murderer in the jungle, that gives you the greatest chance of escape. If it's a child acting within a group, not only do you have no chance, but it's also horrific and heartbreaking and bleak. That's true. As the blood drains from the rat who doesn't deserve this, you swallow, dizzy, and try your best to remain calm. Say something, you fool. Beg for my life, ask who they are, tell them to stop. Huh. Also, I'm realizing, wait, I'm gonna move this a little this way. I might make chat a little smaller because of like the notifications that takes so much space. I'm gonna put you guys at the bottom here, so you can see the game better. I want to have like the dialogue on anything. Yeah, like this should be good. I'm gonna ask who they are. Who are you? Why are you doing this? You're able to say it firmly, but the mouse ignores you. Let me go, please. I'm just a researcher. I will report this. I'll never return here. Please, I'll do anything. Of course they can't understand you. That's what the translator was for. But he's not waking up now. The mouse pulls a cloth from their pocket to wipe the knife. Once it's clean, they look to you for a long moment. You think desperately how you can convey to them that you mean them no harm, that you only want to go home. Instead, the nausea you've been staving off comes to a head, thanks to the inescapable smell of your colleague's blood. You lean forward and vomit helplessly onto the floor. It flows towards the drain after all. The ground must be slightly slanted here. The three of you were placed in this room in such a way that your blood, vomit, and any other bodily excretions will go right down the drain. They planned for you to bleed for them. They brought you here for the purpose of being drained. And now you feel only more sick. The mouse kneels down in front of you. Their rubber rain boots squeak lightly as they move. When you look up to their face, the mask, they bring the soiled cloth to the sides of your mouth, dabbing the mess away. You'd almost believe it was a small kindness, if not for the faint taste of blood on your lips. The mouse seems to study your face for a moment, but you can only stare back in stunned silence. Why use the words if the mouse can't seem to understand you anyway? They stand, then open the door to leave. You hang your head as the despair of your situation hits you in a wave. You sit there sobbing in the darkness as you listen to the slow drip of the drain in front of you. That's a start. That is a start and a half. Okay. The witch beside you still hasn't woken up. Pete is much older than you, with a weaker constitution. As a witch, you expected she would be a little sturdier, but apparently not. Being able to use magic doesn't guarantee protection from poison. Her specialty lies in photography, not medicine. She's unwounded though, at least not in an obvious way. It isn't her blood that stains the floor where you sit. The only one the mouse seems to have cut into so far is the rat. Moss. I'm gonna think about the witch. Pete is employed by the very same institution as you are. She's well known within her field, undeniably skilled, with decades of experience. We were honestly excited to get to work with her, until you realized she was surprisingly old-fashioned, viewing the cultures you studied as uncivilized and beneath her. She exploded at Moss once his incompetence was made clear. You tried to get between them and your supplies were lost in the scuffle. If she had kept calm, you could have worked together to find a way back to the path marked on your map. I want to blame her, but you are angry at the rat's deception too. Morale was completely shot by the time you gave in and tried those berries. Of everything you could have eaten, the berries were... Well, none of you asked to end up in this situation. Let's think about the rat. You spent most of the previous night reflecting on everything that happened. At first it was easy to pin everything on Moss. If you'd hired anyone else, you might not be here right now. There's no question about it. But this job paid well. Compared to other work being offered in the area, he must have been highly incentivized to lie in order to take it. It's unfortunate that his decision endangered the lives of all three of you. But maybe he really thought of himself as capable enough. At the very least, it wasn't the kind of mistakes you believe he should die for. Though Pete certainly disagrees. You tried to keep her from killing him, only for the three of you to end up here. And now is... You can't think about Moss any longer. You need to think of a way out. It's probably too late for Moss, but if you could just untie yourself and Pete. The rope refuses to loosen themselves no matter which direction you bend your torso. Without something sharp to cut through the fibers, you'll be stuck like this. You lean your full weight onto Pete again, as you've continued to do throughout the night. Pete, please, wake up. You hate having to face this alone. Even if this witch were to only offer unpleasant remarks, at this point you'd accept them with full gratitude. The door opens again for the first time since yesterday. The sudden sound of heavy rain causes you to jolt, but you remain frozen, lying against Pete's shoulder. The mouse is here again. Is it the same one as before? Judging by their stature, you imagine it must be. They walk past you and over to Moss. They pull out the knife again. You can't bring yourself to watch this time. You only wish you could cover your ears. That way you wouldn't have to hear the sounds of flesh and muscle parting, of his blood pouring out of his severed veins and splattering loudly onto the floor. Why are you doing this, please? You cry, because you can't think of anything else to do. You can't just sit and wait for your turn to be flayed, but you can't move, and the mouse won't listen to you. So you sit there, whimpering until you hear a loud thud. You finally open your eyes to see Moss's corpse, a misshapen lump on the floor. Even in this low light you can tell. What once was human skin has become coarse fur, a quirk of animal folk that return to their bestial form upon death. Having forgotten that, you realize he must have been alive and unconscious until now. Let's remain calm. Your mind is racing, but you shut every single one of those thoughts in order to survive. Moss is dead, but your position isn't changed. You have to escape. The mouse begins dragging the larger rat's bodies across the room inch by inch. You're breathing hard, but as you watch this tiny mouse struggle to move this heavy corpse, you almost feel bad for them. That's when you finally think of something you can do. Hey, untie me. The mouse stay focused on their task. He's heavy, right? Untie me and I can help you move the body. You almost can't believe what you're saying. Your shaky breath steadies the more you talk. It's so sad watching you try to move him alone. Please, can I help you? The mouse stops to look at you. The mask's face sends a chill down your spine. You worry that being able to read their expression would feel even worse. You have their attention. You have to commit to this now. Where are you moving him? I can help you. I promise I'll help, but I can only do that if you untie me. And you can tie me up again afterwards. Of course, I'll cooperate, please. I just want to help. The mouse steps over the rat's body and kneels in front of you. The same as they did when you vomited yesterday. I'm not supposed to talk to you. Your eyes light up. She can understand you after all. Her voice sounds young and feminine. This is a child being forced to do horrible things by some monster. You can talk her into releasing you. You have to. It's your only path forward. I won't talk. I just lift. It's just so sad watching you. I can't bear it. She draws a knife and for a moment you think she's about to silence you for good. But instead she cuts through a piece of rope. I'd like to move this to this table. Oh, to the table. To this table. What the fuck? You do as the mouse commands. Day 3. Pete woke up last night. You fell her in on everything that happened. Mouse's death. Your masked captor. You left out the part where you convinced the mouse to untie you. You pretend she didn't say a word to you. Huh. You hadn't said anything more to her either, and even let her tie you up again in the end, as promised. Pete would only scorn you for not putting up more of a fighting she knew. Although she's still rather delirious and weak, she ate the largest share of the berries, not that to think of it. You don't know how much she'll fight back or if she'll bow to help at all. Let's talk to Pete. Pete, are you still awake? Yes. The level of annoyance in her voice is far higher than usual. You imagine she's in a lot of pain. We should try to come up with a solid escape plan, don't you think? That's what I've been thinking ever since you're waking up. Do not interrupt me again if you want to live. It doesn't seem like she's willing to coordinate with you. That's fine. It's exactly where you've already set your own plan in motion. You can't depend on each other. But escaping together, if at all possible, would be ideal. You don't like her, but leaving this witch behind will haunt you for the rest of your life. You're sure Moss's death will too. I think thinking about what happened to Moss is not going to help, so I'm just going to have to think about what to do next. Your ropes aren't that tight as they were before. You've tried screaming around again, but you haven't gotten them to budge. Still, they're a little less uncomfortable. Your muscles are stiff from being stuck in one position on the floor. You wonder if the mouse would be willing to leave you untied in this room. The door is locked anyway. You need to earn more of her trust. At the very least, you'd rather Pete be the one to be drained next. The door opens, and the mouse enters the room. Let's go. We can pay. Do you understand? Pete speaks quickly in a demanding tone, but the mouse ignores her, as expected. What is it you want? Food? Wealth? I won't be made into a ritual sacrifice. We can make this worth your while. The mouse kneels down before the witch and holds the knife to her skin. Pete flares in a panic, knocking the knife from her hands. It slides across the floor towards the drain, but it doesn't fall in. Oops. The mouse calmly collects her knife, who's silent, thinking desperately of a way to delay her further. Loam told me all about how you butchered that rat. You collected his meat. For what?
Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. You coward. You make me sick. Your weakness is pathetic.
You tried. Are you cannibals? Or did you toss the remains into a pit to appease your god, you fucking savages? She falls over to where Moss once sat, flailing dangerously again as the mouse takes slow steps toward her. An idea comes to mind. Bro, what? You swallow hard before asking. Would you like some help again? Pete stops flailing all at once. You can feel both of them staring at you, but your eyes are fixed on your captor's mask. The mouse nods. Okay. Pete refuses to speak to you. You try to explain they only held her down like that as part of your ploy to earn the mouse's trust. Oh, we held her down. Ooh. And you got results. You convinced her that she didn't need to trouble yourself in tying ropes around your whole body. So today it's just your hands that are tied. You've been able to pace about the room, which feels much better than sitting on the hard floor. Your odds of survival are slowly increasing. You don't worry about Pete's blood spilling down the drain. She's weakened but still alive. The cut was far from fatal. Guys? Are we the baddies? Are we the baddie? Are we a bad person? Now we're just practicing some medieval medicine, that's all. Yeah, right. Let's talk to Pete. I'm pretty sure she's still our friend. You don't need to call them savages, you know. Pete gives you a silent glare. It's offensive. If they weren't city mice, you'd call them murderers, right? So just say murderers. Loam. You are, for once, relieved to hear a voice. Yeah? I do not need your lecture on political correctness when I am bleeding out because of you. You know what, guys? She got a point. I think she got a point there. You purse your lips. Sorry. She actually kind of got a point. Like, bruh, please. Though you can't do much with your hands tied behind your back, you were able to confirm a few things about this room. There is no way out, the door is locked, the small window in the upper center of it is barred, and there doesn't seem to be any other exit. 2. The pile of things next to the table doesn't even contain your belongings. You thought as much on the first day you woke up here, and you're happy to learn they weren't thrown out or being stored somewhere you wouldn't be able to recover them. You weren't able to open your bag on your own, you're too afraid to move anything too far out of its place anyway. If only your hands weren't tied, you could dig through your belongings to find something sharp enough to use as, well, a means of escape. Either to untie Pete or as a weapon you hopefully won't have to use on a living person. Let's think of what to do next. You rack your brain trying to figure out your next move, but it's hard to think on an empty stomach. You've been running on adrenaline these past few days and your nerves are completely shot. You were at the very least given some water yesterday, both you and Pete. They seem to want to keep you alive for a little longer, but you aren't sure exactly why. Or for how long. Maybe you'll be able to get some answers today. You decide to make that your goal. The little mouse returns. You move back to your place next to Pete in a show of cooperation. When she kneels down and draws her knife, Pete interjects with the level and composure you're shocked to hear from someone crumpled, bound, and bleeding on the floor. Mouse, you should be cutting him instead. You almost can't believe who he is. How does she expect to have any chance at escaping if we're both weak from blood loss? Why me? The mouse pauses to hear her out. You want to cry. He's trying to trick you. No. He's getting you trust a lot of the time before taking that knife from you and ah! You're almost relieved when your little mouse, oh bro, he's delusional, brings the blade down and pierces her flesh. You feel awful about it, but it spares you another day. Can I ask you a question? The mouse cleans the blade against the cloth as she always does. We're not supposed to talk. I just want to know your name. Hearing her call you Mouse, I felt sad I didn't know your name. She tilts her head at you at speed, continuously mutters swears under her breath. Is it bad that I feel like the mouse is kind of cute? I should introduce myself first, shouldn't I? My name is Loam. Loam. I'm sorry. I don't have a name I can share. She stands to leave. There's something I can call you, something other than mouse. Pete moans in agony. But don't let her distract you. You need to keep building trust or else you'll both be killed. The mouse stares at you for a long while before turning away. I don't know. She opens the door, letting in the roar of heavy rainfall. I think of something for you. You yell after her as the door closes. You hope she thinks about it too. Okay, so far, not many things has been happening, but I'm very curious about how things are going to evolve. Because on the page of the game itself, there's two things I read. Well, first of all, I told you guys that there is a good ending in this. Okay, let me just... I'm going to warm up some water because I want another cup of coffee. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. I mean, technically it's not coffee, it's chicory, but yeah, similar thing for me right now. Okay. I hope you had the water, what's the name of that thing again? The thing you use to warm up water. My brain is off right now. A kettle. Thank you, a kettle. That's the word I was looking for. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Okay, so the other thing I read on the page about the game is that someone in the comments said, I put off playing the game a bit because nothing was happening and I was not as interested. Then I continued and realized how much I was wrong. Please never stop making visual novels. When I see that comment, it makes me want to continue. You know what I mean? Okay, day 5. Pete isn't speaking to you again. This time it's because she hasn't seemed to regain consciousness. Her body is alarmingly cold, but you think she still has a pulse. She isn't dead just yet. But you don't think you'll be able to escape with her anymore. You weren't counting on it to begin with, but it would have been nice to not be alone. You sigh. Your stomach is tearing itself apart with hunger. I'm gonna try and talk to Pete. You know. You address the unconscious witch, well aware that she won't respond. I think you're more guilty for where we'd ended up. I've only been making the best of a bad situation. Holy shit, bro! You understand that, right? I'm not some monster who wish for you to die. Her silence pains you, so you try to put her out of her mind. Holy shit, dude. We are such a terrible person too. He's so good at like pushing the blame on other people, which I feel is very realistic of some people in those kind of situations, unfortunately. Let's stretch my legs. You begin pacing around the room. You can't let your muscles atrophy before you can make a run for it. You're the opposite. Even when someone else makes a mistake, you make it yours. You're literally the opposite of this guy. There isn't much space to walk around though, and the more you move, the hungrier you feel. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, my bad. That's exactly what I mean. Look down at Pete. Her eyes are still closed. She almost looks peaceful. The fact that he's getting hungrier and hungrier and Pete is being like worse and worse, I fear how things are going to evolve. Think about names. A name for the faceless mouse. Now she isn't faceless, only masked. The group she's working for, the one that tells her not to talk to you, the one keeping her nameless and anonymized. Anonymized. That's the first time I meet this word, anonymized. That group is keeping her personhood from her. That's also the first time I meet this word. By giving her a name, you can work towards removing that mask. The door opens again. Oh wait, sorry. Water is ready. I'm gonna get my chicory. You can still hear me, right?
I'm sorry for coughing. It's fine, it's human even. Yeah, like, but there's a lot of things that it's very normal for humans I shouldn't do while you guys listen. I'll say, okay, that sounded a little much worse than I thought. Oh, God. Okay. The door opens again. Each time it does, you brace yourself with for a new mouse, a stranger, to walk through the door. You brace yourself for your strategy to be completely overturned, for your progress to be reset, and to feel overcome with despair as the stranger drives their blade deep into your flesh to be cut into pieces, bones discarded and carried out in metal pails just like moss. But you can tell it's her again today. The mouse will help you escape from this place. Her hood and boots are drenched with rain. She doesn't bother to shake any of it off. Instead, she looks right at you and makes a small sound, like she's smiling under that mask. It's how you want to be greeted, so it's what you imagine that sound must have meant. You smile back. Forgive me for speaking, but I've been thinking of what to call you. I don't know what kinds of things you like, so I mean, if I give you a name, I think it should be something you like, so what do you... I do have a name. You pause, blinking twice. Oh, yesterday you said you didn't, so I'm sorry to have jumped to conclusions. The mouse kneels down in front of Pete and draws her knife. I can't share it. We're all given sacred names by the highest power. She makes her incision. You don't watch the blood leak from Pete's arm. You can only look at the mask. We're not supposed to share our sacred names. But I think it's okay if I tell you what my name means. And then you can call me something based on that. Does that work? She's making concessions to you. You're compromising. It's something small and trivial, but she's willing to negotiate with you, which means you still have a chance of negotiating your freedom. What does your sacred name mean? Water from the heavens, where the highest power lives. I'm proud of my name, so if you call me something like that, I'll be happy. She wipes her knife. Pete is still. Trying to think feels like wading through a deep pit of mud, but you finally land on something. Little raindrop. The mouse doesn't react, so you rush to explain. It's not a name, but a term of endearment like sweetheart or pumpkin. Hello, Rufflefox! Pumpkin? My grandmother used to call me that back when I was a little tyke. You don't think about the ways Pete reminds you of your like grandmother. How old are you, little raindrop? She thinks for a moment. 16. Too young. She's far too young to be taking lies like this. Though you realize it's likely because she's so young that this group has been able to mold her into a killer. You do know the dev? Oh, Nom Nom Nami? That's the name, right? Nom Nom Nami, the person that made Bad in Theater. But apparently that game is much darker than her usual games. This released 3 days ago. This game we're playing released 3 days ago on our itch.io. The mouse turns her attention back to the witch lying still on the floor beside you. It's hard to tell when a witch's heart has stopped beating. Can you help me again? You swallow hard and turn your head to finally face what's become of Pete. Sure. You sit on the blood-soaked floor, with robes tied loosely around your body, though not so loose that you could shuffle your way out of them. The other mice had apparently scolded the little raindrop for leaving you unbound. It wasn't proper.
She told you the highest power would be displeased, and that she had no choice but to tie you up like before. Your eyelids are heavy. You feel hollow. Somehow you've ended up making negative progress. Today you're all alone. But think, after confirming Speed's death, after you laid your head on her chest, remembering the first time you heard her faint heartbeat despite the pounding of your own, you listened for that sound as hard as you could, but it wasn't there. You felt like your heart might stop too. Instead, it continued beating, this pulsing inside your ribcage that you usually never paid any mind to. You curse it for its diligence. Pete's body was dissected the same as Moss, but you did not only watch this time. The raindrop chatted to you as she went about her business. The conversation took your mind off of the things she asked you to do. Her commands you obeyed without much hesitation. You were out of your mind. But everything you've been doing, all your efforts, everything you've done is in order for you to escape and survive this ordeal. You have to survive this. You squirm lazily in place on the floor, but the ropes don't give an inch. You want to cry, but you're already dehydrated. You want to go home, but you can't leave this room. You want to die, but only if it will be painless. You don't want to bleed like Moss and Pete did. You don't want to be reduced to chunks of meat and forgotten. It's late when the mouse arrives. So late that you almost believe she wouldn't come today. Your raindrop. Hello. The candlelight reflects off of her mask. A terrifying figure. You smile weakly. I'm here because I was able to sneak away with some leftovers. Food? She brought you food. She's still on your side. Your little raindrop from the heavens. She came here because she didn't want you to starve. Is it really okay to be giving you food? I hope you already eaten your fill. She kneels down in front of you, presenting a bowl of stew. We're having 3 feasts in a row, so I don't mind sharing some. Thank you, little raindrop. Another sound comes from behind the mask as she is smiling at you again. You want to believe that. I can't untie you, so I'll fear you myself. She holds up a spoonful of the dark stew. Your eyes linger on the chunks of meat. It's Pete. Pete is in there. I said this point we need to survive, and if we don't have the strength, we're never gonna get out. You're doing what you have to in order to survive. It will all be meaningless if we were to die here like this. That's why you have to do whatever it takes. Our first real choice, I'd say. Oh, day 11. For 5 days, your little raindrop came to visit and made small horizontal incisions across your wrists. They bled as you chatted with her. You continued to chat in order to take your mind off the pain. You think you're probably going to hell. There are all sorts of conceptions of hell in the cultures you've studied. Be they cold, fiery, a transient purgatory, or a realm of eternal punishment. You weren't sure you believed in hell before now, but being faced with your imminent death, you want to believe there must be some kind of afterlife. You can't imagine whatever's next would be a peaceful paradise with your family, your ancestors happily waiting for you there for you. Surely some kind of retribution is coming for a coward like yourself. What's being done to you now? It isn't enough. The blood coagulates. The wound scabs over. A fresh decision is made. Maybe the only part of you that will ever escape this place is what's already flowed down that drain. But each time the door opens, a little seed of hope is planted. She's here again. She smiles to greet you. The little raindrop asks you to tell her another story from your journal. You carry it with you on all your adventures, a record full of notes on ancient civilizations, things you've learned from various tribes in the region, and little things about their ways of life that have fascinated you. Anthropology is a broad subject. There are so many exciting things to learn. You've shared some of the things with the mouse, who seems to match your excitement and interest in the wider world. She's never left this village, so it's no surprise she would feel that way. When you finish your story, she seems no closer to releasing you. You can feel your story sway her heart, but still, she does not budge. You explain to the little raindrop that you've traveled here on a research expedition. When she asks about the purpose of your research, you'll realize Pete's photography would communicate most clearly, so you had her dig into the witch's backpack to uncover her photo book. Pete was such an unpleasant person to be around, but her talents were unmatched. Seeing her photography again brings you to tears. You have to stop looking. The ropes upon your body might be the only thing holding you together. Ooh, I feel like this is risky. You've tried to lead a conversation towards your escape many times. You even offered to take the little raindrop with you to show her the world. But it's only so hard you can push. The other mice tell her that the outside world is full of dangers. You've tried to show her that it is instead full of wonders. Ironically, it is your wanderlust that has landed you in danger. Okay, guys, this is funny because today was the first time I used that word on stream, and I meet him again here. This is one of my favorite words in the English language, wanderlust. It basically just means that you really, really like going places. But that doesn't have to be true for this mouse. She doesn't have the courage to flee. And you fear you no longer have the strength. So you admit defeat. Am I gonna die? Another day goes by, bleeding and talking late into the night. Wanderlust is goated. I learned it due to an Osu song of that type. Oh, me too. I also learned it because of the Osu version of a song. Made by a furry speedcore DJ, if I remember correctly. The original creator of the song. And the lyrics said, "I'm filled with wanderlust." The raindrop yawns, then carefully picks up her candle. "I'd better go to bed." You don't want her to leave. You don't want to be left alone another night in this dark, horrible, blood-stained room. "Good night, Loam. See you tomorrow." You offer a weak good night and close your eyes. You don't know how much longer you'll last. Day 13. Holy shit, we're surviving a lot. You're feeling more lucid today. The hopelessness has left you. You think it's probably your body's last hurrah. Your grandmother was like that too. The day that she passed, you wonder if dying bodies can feel the expiration date coming on. You thought you'd be scared, but really, you've spent these past 2 weeks in total fear. You're overdue for a sense of peace. "Okay, I'm ready." She raises a knife to your arm and waits for your approval. She'll be forced to reopen an older wound with how many cuts have been left there. Why does it fall on you to signal the go-ahead? It's made this whole thing feel like a slow suicide. It's enough to make you laugh, but the corners of your mouth only curl slightly at the thought before relaxing back in place. In the end, you do give her a nod, and she cuts. And you bleed. You're so cold, you don't even have the energy to shiver. You wish you'd brought a blanket, but you can't ask for that now. You don't want to open your eyes again. You thought for a moment you didn't want to, but... Little raindrop. Could you... take off your mask? She hesitates. My mask? Why? I've never seen your face. I'd like to see it once, before it's too late. Okay. Oh, fuck, she's adorable. Oh, fuck, why is the little cannibal so adorable? Shit. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. You stare at her for a moment. In this light, you are almost unsure. But there really is a person under there, not some monster. You're worried you might be only fooling yourself, believing she was a victim like you. She's still a child whose view of the world has been warped in such a way that brings harm to others. She can't see the damage she's done. She hasn't had a chance to comprehend it before being put into this situation. Such beautiful round eyes. Look at her! Dude, look at her. She's so cute. Your eyes are nice too. You're able to muster a real laugh this time. You have to say more than that. Listen, little raindrop. Once you prepare my body for the feast, we won't be able to talk anymore. That's okay. The feast is what's important. Okay. Wow. Cute smile. But the context is... It's a great honor to be offered up to the highest power. You were chosen. There wasn't enough time. You couldn't get through to her. There was never going to be a way to entangle those immoral beliefs of hers overnight. If you leave it like this, she may never break free from them. Too bad she's a cannibal. Like, you see this? Adorable. Super cute. Too bad she's a cannibal. You use all that's left of your strength to lean forward, letting your head fall on her lap. Please learn everything you can about the world, little raindrop. This highest power of yours isn't the only power that exists. It isn't the only way. She doesn't say anything. You continue. I'm sorry I've ever said things that must sound like sacrilege to you, but I hope you can understand it one day. Come to understand it, escape from this place. That is my wish for you. You close your eyes again. You pray to every power you can think of to please let this mouse escape. Okay, maybe... Okay, I was saying before that the character we're playing is an asshole, but he's kind of redeeming himself right now to me. Like, as he's dying, his only thought is for this little girl to escape her situation. Like, yeah, I can't hate that guy anymore. Am I dead? Wait, don't tell me I played the mouse now. We play the okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that is cool. That is such a cool way to continue the story. Yo, okay. We are the cannibal now. We are a cute little mouse girl. We are winning in life. After the feast that day, I thought the highest power wouldn't be passing down any more blessings for a while. 3 at once had been a lot of work. I had only ever managed 2 at a time before. I thought maybe the highest power was pleased with how well it went. And that's why it sent us a 4th. I hope this new offering was as nice as you were. If so, I'd go with the slow draining method again. I see no downsides, yeah. Same. Honestly, to be a cute mouse girl, cannibalism is okay. Cannibalism, cute rat girl. No, a mouse. The rat guy died. I knew I wasn't supposed to talk to them. Meals are to be eaten, not spoken with. That's the rule. But the monkey was wide awake when I came in to start the draining ritual. And I want to see if she was a nice person like you were alone. I had a lot of fun talking to you. So I wondered if other outsiders would share their stories with me like you did. She said that she was a member of a search party that went out to look for a group of researchers who disappeared in the rainforest a month ago. A witch called Pete, a local rat who was hired as their guide, and the leader of the expedition, an anthropologist. Loam! I was happy to hear someone else say your name. I was happy to be able to talk to someone who knew about you, because I couldn't explain all that stuff to any of my brothers without getting in trouble. But when I told the monkey that you and the others were already offered up by the highest power for the feast, and that she didn't need to look for you anymore, she got really upset. Outsiders always have trouble accepting the highest power's will. They can't comprehend the honor being bestowed on them. She struggled a lot, and I wasn't able to use the knife because of that. I'm the only one assigned to the dining preparation house right now, so it's up to me to carry out the ritual. I had to come back later that night when she had calmed down. Things proceeded normally after that. I didn't try talking to her again. Think about Loam. Oh God. I wish you'd stop counting me. Your words made me hesitate back then. You were always doing me favors, so for a moment I wanted to do as you asked. I shook my head. I have to do it. Who's telling you that you have to do this, little raindrop? Well, if it's in preparation for the feast, I have to follow the steps. Even if what you're doing is wrong? You kept saying things like that. I didn't like how it made me feel, so I rejected it. It isn't wrong. I'm doing it properly. I wiped the knife clean, and when I looked back at you, you had such a sad expression. Killing people, cutting them up like this, it's always wrong. There's no justification that could ever make it right. Do you know why? I knew I couldn't trust anything outsiders had to say, but I was curious to hear your reason, so I asked, why? Because life is precious. Each one of us is given only one life, and when it ends, that person is gone forever. It's a loss you can never get back, not even with magic. That's why you mustn't do things that ends others' lives. It's wrong because it takes something away from this world that can never be returned. I tilted my head in thought. But you helped me before, unless that doesn't count? Huh. After that you went quiet and didn't look at me anymore. I wonder why. Touché, as they say. Touché. Once the drain ritual was finished, it was time to get the monkey's body ready for the feast. I had trouble moving it as usual, and I wanted to ask for help, but dining preparation is my responsibility, so my brothers aren't allowed to enter the house. I try to move the bodies even though they're heavy, because it's easier to work at the table. I'd been doing this since I was 13, so I have a system. Usually I'll move them a piece at a time, but it's messy to do the cutting on the floor, so I ended up doing bigger pieces. When you offered to help, I thought it was lucky because it would save me a lot of time and energy. It let me focus on the next step, and I even felt refreshed by the end of it. Mercy from the highest power, who knew I had 3 feasts to help prepare. But you're not here anymore. I wouldn't have any help when I had to move you, and when I realized that, I felt a little sad. Every offering from then on, I'll have to go back to moving all on my own. Thinking of it as another trial from the highest power sort of helped to ease my mind though. After finishing my work, I stood outside in the rain and gazed up at the sky. No one would call me Little Raindrop anymore. I kept thinking things like that and remembered when you told me about how each life was precious. But there wasn't any way around it. You were an offering sent by the highest power. I couldn't have let you go. During the next feast I felt kind of sick, so I couldn't eat very much. I prayed to the highest power, hoping it would send me some kind of sign and clear away my doubts. But I don't think it heard my prayer. My brothers encouraged me to keep praying and told me I would feel better soon. So that's what I did. Next time an offering was sent, I couldn't bring myself to drive the knife into their body. I'd been reading your journal a lot and kept thinking about everything you wrote in here. We aren't supposed to read books the highest power doesn't approve of, but I figured a handwritten journal doesn't really count as a book, so it was okay. But the more I read, I just felt so sad I couldn't ask you to explain things to me, because you were gone. I felt sad I was already starting to forget the things you did explain. The stories you told me that weren't written in the journal. And since I felt stuck and couldn't do my work like usual, I ended up untying the ropes. I unlocked the door for them, and they ran outside right away. The others got them, of course, and they were brought back and tied up again.
You really dropped the ball this time. The highest power would have been so unhappy with us if we'd lost the offering.
I nodded, feeling ashamed.
Well, no harm done. The feast must go on.
They patted me on the back with words of encouragement, but I knew I would have to return to my work after that. I knew I was going to have to take another life. I'm not feeling well today. Do you think someone else could do this in my place?
You've been saying that a lot lately. We're all busy with our own tasks. If you're really not feeling well today, then don't push yourself. Come back to it tomorrow. I'm sure you'll be blessed with a speedy recovery in order to get the job done in time for the feast, brother. We're all counting on you.
Okay, I'll rest for the day. I felt guilty for slacking off when everyone else was working so hard. I'd always been pretty diligent because the highest power smiles upon diligent mice the most. I wanted to be smiled upon. I started to think that the reason I was feeling bad was because I kept bending the rules, but what was I doing? Was what I was doing so wrong? I knew I should have let an offering go. It was like I was rejecting the highest power's divine will. But when I thought about going through with the whole preparation process again, I wanted to run away from it all. Oh. I mentioned I'd been reading your journal a lot, but actually I've been writing in it too. There were a lot of blank pages left over. I hope you don't mind me using them. You didn't get a chance to write anything about my village, so I thought I'd write about what life is like here instead. There's something special about stories that explore those without the conscious finding their own free will.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's kind of crazy? You know how people have been joking that recently there's a lot of games that go with the whole parent-to-child relation? That game makes me feel the same. Like Loam, he actually kind of acted like a parent to her. And that's how he saw her. Like, in his head, by the end, the only thing that was left was trying to help that poor girl. And he never felt anything negative about her. From the very first time he saw her, he was afraid that she was a child that was born into this and forced to do it. Why did the other mouse call her brother, by the way? It might be a religious thing. I think it might be a religious thing. Or maybe they don't know her face or something like that because they always wear their masks. I don't know. But yeah, like I'm getting very invested in how she's evolving right now. You didn't get a chance to write anything about my village, so I thought I'd write about what life is like here instead. Hello, Shiri. I'm not a leg. I'm Leo. Each of us has a job to do. Farm work, cooking, laundry. The highest power assigns us a sacred task, and the village will prosper as long as those tasks are fulfilled. We wear the same clothes, eat the same things, share the same beds, and put on the same mask. No, don't do it too, Fox, no. Our masks are a symbol of the highest power. We wear them to reflect its image, so it knows we are its servants. Questioning the highest power is dangerous, because it means we could lose its protection. I want our village to be protected, so I wasn't able to question it before. Why are you guys trolling me like this? With your writing and your stories, you help me look at things in a new way. If outsiders don't have the protection of the highest power, then how do all those thriving cities you told me about really exist?
Oh, Strike, I hate this. The slow reveal of the fucking yellow leg. I hate this mix. Is it possible to live a good life while abandoning our sacred tasks? I was too afraid to find out. So I picked up the knife and did what I was supposed to do. Everyone laughed at Snow. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I don't think I ever told you this, but someone else was assigned to this task before me. An older brother. He was killed, and the offering escaped. I was the one the highest power chose to replace him. It was hard work, but I was happy to have a purpose. I was happy to be chosen back then. But now, I think you were right. That life is precious. You're gone, and you'll never come back. And it wasn't just you. How much has been lost from this world with every feast? I started to feel worse and worse about taking part in it. I stopped eating the meat, but I couldn't get out of fulfilling my task. Unless I were to go somewhere outside the highest power's reach. One night, I cut a hole in the chain link fence and stepped outside the village for the first time. Oh. I looked up past the thick canopy to the vast starry sky and felt so small. I thought about the scary stories I'd been told. What happens to mice in the outside world? If I continued beyond that fence, I'd be entering the realm of dangerous predators who would eat a mouse without a second thought. Maybe that's why my village became what it is. A place where instead mice are the ones to feast on others. All while under the protection of the highest power. I stood under the stars for a long time to see if I'd be able to endure it. And then I retreated back to the safety of my village. Why won't you listen to me? It was the first and only time you ever raised your voice at me. Sorry. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm not feeling well, so I shouldn't take it out on you. It isn't your fault. I just really want to go home. You have to stay for the feast. You buried your face in your knees and let out a muffled scream. That scream became sobs, then whimpers. I'm sorry. It's so hard not to break down. I was surprised by the way your voice cracked as you spoke. You were making a lot of noises I didn't expect from you. So not knowing what else to do, I tried reaching out and patting your shoulder. There. My words worked like a charm. You stopped whimpering. Except, I understand it now. It wasn't acceptance. It was resignation. If I resigned to your fate, it was painful having to die, but you knew you couldn't avoid it. So you endured the pain as best you could up to the very end. That's what I'm doing now, so I understand, Loam. Oh. I thought about leaving for so long. I have a good one, Fox. Yeah, I understand. The game is on itch.io. It's a free game on itch.io. What always stopped me was I still felt like I didn't know anything about the outside world. If I really ran away, where would I sleep? Where would I eat? Would anyone protect me? I collected all the information I could. I talked to so many outsiders over the past 2 years. And when I could get away with it, I'd bring them to the hole I made in the fence and push them through. I turned away more and more of these so-called offerings from the highest power, but I was never punished for it. I don't think the highest power really cares anymore, if it ever did to begin with. Something new that occurred to me was, leaving meant I wouldn't be able to help anyone else escape. Oh. of the outsiders that get drawn in for the feast, and my brothers. My sacred task would be reassigned to the next available mouse. But I realized, if I kept worrying about that, I'd be trapped here, continuing to take the lives of others until the day I died. You didn't want that for me, did you, Loam? This way, quickly.
Oh, is that a fox girl? A wolf. Oh,
The last person I helped escape was a wolf. I'd never met a wolf before. Their smile, filled with kindness, reminded me of yours. It's not often that people give someone like me a warm welcome. It was nice while it lasted. I couldn't tell if they understood what the feast was. They seemed pretty naive, but here they were, traveling the world despite that. You've been to many places, haven't you? I've always thought about going far away, but I've been too scared. Although, if someone like you managed to survive, I could probably... Someone like me? Am I getting picked on? Sorry. Thanks. Because of you, I feel like I can go far too. I gathered my courage while I waited for nightfall. With a small bag of supplies and your journal in hand, I faced the same exit that had pushed so many outsiders through. I still felt so uncertain, but it was time. Oh God, I hope she's gonna make it. Please. Please, 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 please let her make it. Please, 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 please. I slipped past the fence as quietly as I could and made my way into the rainforest. I used the map you had tucked inside your journal. My village wasn't marked on there, but I knew I'd be able to find my way. I'll travel far, far away from this place and meet all sorts of people and learn all sorts of new and wonderful things. I record everything I can in this journal for you, and I won't have to hurt anyone ever again. I'll be an outsider too, from now on. I discarded my mask, ran as fast as I could, and thought about what name I'll ask to be called from now on.
oh, she makes it. Oh, she made it, guys. Oh my fucking God, she made it. Oh. Oh. Good ending. I'm happy. You know what's gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna be today. We're gonna play every single game by this person. You know that's gonna happen now. We're gonna play every single game that person made. I need to. Oh my God, that was adorable. That is cheating. Being so cute is cheating. You know what, girl? You might have been a cannibal for 16 years, well, 18, but you're would head pet still, would daughter still. Like, yeah, no. Love. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Thank you for making the game. Thank you. Num num nummy. I kind of feel bad for Fox now because the only thing she missed is like the last 5 minutes. I'm kind of sorry for Fox now. Wait, there's extras. Oh. Aww. The other cult members aren't her biological siblings. Oh, that's interesting. Loam, he was 32. Pete was in her late 50s. A curmudgeonly witch. Curmudgeonly. What the hell is that word? Curmudgeonly. My daughter may have chopped her people for dinner, but I still love her. Yep, exactly. Moss, local rat. And Trick. Aww. Ended up in Wormwood while searching for the best friend. So, first of all, guys,
this game is apparently in the same world as another game called Night with Timber. There is one more game in the same universe. Also, one thing, I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for Loam. In the end. Like, I know he was kind of a douchebag with the others. He was kind of ready to sacrifice them. But the man was also only trying to survive in a way. And by the end, the only curmudgeonly means grumpy. Yeah, negative and grumpy. Yeah. Like, oh god, she's so cute. Oh. It's over. It's so over. That was the original drawing of Loam. At least untie me. And this is what his clothes look like. I don't really wear these. It was just for the expedition. Nice when he comes to after the others, but there's an old drawing of me here. Aww. You look so cute, little raindrop. Oh, thanks. You look... No, you don't have to return the compliment. I know how scruffy I am. Your beard kept getting longer and longer. Release me so I can shave! Oh, epilogue. Assemble, brothers. Now is the hour of roll call. Brother, here. Brother, here. Brother, here, here. Brother. Brother, I regret to inform you. One of our dear brothers have lost their way and has yet to return to us. But which one? Speak if you have any information. One afternoon of sleuthing later. I see. So there is no one to take care of the dinner preparation should an offering come our way. Won't the highest power be disappointed in us if we are unable to hold a feast in its honor? Ho, highest power! Should our brother never return, we ask that you reassign the sacred task to another. I don't want to do it. I mean, wasn't our dear missing brother constantly suffering from illnesses? The task seemed hard. Come to think of it, more and more of the offerings have managed to disappear in recent years. Yes, how difficult that task would have been. Yeah, I don't really want to be responsible for doing it either. Then, shall we search the jungle for our missing brother? That sounds hard too. They didn't even search for you, little raindrop? That's so depressing. I didn't want him to, so I left a note. I guess they missed it, though. What did your note say? Please stop eating the offering. Signed, the highest power. Wait, would that have worked? I was about to suggest a lot of changes to our customs there since you were gone. Formally welcoming them to a village, being friendly with them before bringing them to a dining preparation house. If your customs were so flexible, couldn't you have suggested they cancel the feast before killing me? But everyone was looking forward to it. Well, they stopped because they can't find a replacement for me and it's for the best. What part of this is for the best? The feasts were important to everyone. I couldn't always get around that. But they'd cancel it just because no one else wants to put in the work? The raindrop, you do understand that this means you could have released me at any time, yes? You sure are shouting a lot. I thought everything you did was under threat of violent repercussions. Were there no cult leader coercing you into doing all this? We're all equal into the eyes of the highest power. I'm sorry, Loam. Give back all the blood I sacrificed. I want to live. Okay, I love the sense of humor of the person. Nom Nom Nami, your sense of humor is so good too. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Developer notes. Hey, thanks for asking for where it would end up. Is a character who's been around since chapter 3 of Lonely Wolf Street, which came out in 2016. Took me 10 years to make a game about her. I don't want to think about that. I feel like this game in particular is made for fans both new and old. Like, if you've never played any of my games before, you're probably confused by the random characters in the credit sequence. But if you already knew Drop... Oh, that's a character from another game! Oh! The wolf has her own game. Or their own game, I guess, in that case. Oh no, Drop is the girl. Drop is the mouse. Drop is the mouse. Oops. Which means we can meet Drop outside of Wormwood in another game. Oh. In the years since introducing her, I've been thinking about what Drop's life was like in the cult and why she helped Trick escape. I wanted someone to teach her what she was doing was wrong, someone who became a friend but she ended up dying, and that person's death is what begins her disentanglement process. That person is Loam. He ended up being way more interesting than I first imagined too. I love that this coward with questionable morals is the one to set Drop on the right path. He can't bring himself to see Drop as his enemy, and he dies for it. Ah, delicious tragedy. Delicious tragedy. Yep, that's the same person. So it's a prologue for Drop. Yeah, it is. My first concept of this game focused a lot more on interactions with the cult members, but I'm actually glad I avoided showing them that much. Telling the story from Loam's perspective and switching to Drop, having her turn out to be the one the title is referencing, was a lot more fun for me to write. Not that I don't love writing the worm with mice, but they're pretty one note since their whole lives revolve around their god. Anyway, this game came together in only a week or two, and I'm really proud of that. I feel like I have so many stories to tell. It's amazing when I can deliver brand new one this quickly. Thanks again for reading. I hope you enjoy browsing this little gallery, Nami. And yeah, in the end, she is the one that escaped from Wormwood. And she chose the name Drop from the little raindrop. And you know what? Yeah, it mentions blood, gore, cult, and cannibalism, but it never was graphic. And I kind of like that. I was afraid to get something like very dreadful to look at. I was afraid of the art being very gory sometimes. I mean, afraid. I don't mind it that much, but I wasn't sure it was the mood for me today, you know? But that thing was just adorable. Yeah, like the start was dreadful. The story was dreadful. I think making it graphic would distract from Drop's innocence. Yeah, of course. But like maybe during the Loam chapter, you know, at the start. It was a cute but fucked up story, but adorable. Yeah. And to me, this shows that you can tell dark stories without going overboard also. I really like that. I really like that. So, you know what? I'm glad we chose this one. I'm glad we chose this game because it was an even better experience than I expected. I'm going to be honest, during the Loam part, I was starting to wonder, okay, this seems to be very streamlined, like railroaded. And I wasn't sure about... I was kind of losing interest a little bit. Because basically we don't really make choices. We read a story more than anything. And I don't mind it that much, but I was expecting maybe several endings when I started the game, and because of Bad End Theater, I guess, which has like 50 of them. But I don't regret anything. I really don't regret anything, and I'm glad I pushed past my initial feeling. And the change of narrator from Loam to Drop was so good. I feel like this is something that completely takes people by surprise, and suddenly you're like, oh, now this is about her, and she continues his story. I mean, she literally continues his story. She was writing in his journal. Okay, guys, this is now a promise. I will be playing the other games of Nami. I will be playing the other games. This is 100% certain. We will be playing the other games of this person. Yep. It is now confirmed. This is not a promise, but a threat. It is not a promise, but a threat. Okay. I hope this gave you all smiles on this Sunday today. I like that. I like when we can feel good when we finish a game like this, you know? It just feels good. Let me go to the extras and play some music while I talk.
Wait, there's dialogue for each. Where am I? It's the music gallery. This track is called Dining Preparation. Oh, great, I'm famished. Where will we be dining on tonight, little raindrop? Oh, sorry. It's you. Oh, wait. Why am I on the chopping block? You have 2 others to pick from, don't you? This car is so quick to sell out his fellow man. He deserves to be cannibalized. Right? It's so unfair. I never even got any lines. It's probably with charming personality. You two are so completely unhelpful. Why did I agree to work with either of you? Little raindrop, we're friends, aren't we? Please, friends don't eat friends. You really think of me as a friend? I've never had one before. I'd be happy to teach you all about friendship as long as you keep me alive. Oh, but I guess the highest power is a friend to all. I think you actually come second, Loam. Praise the highest power. Excellent work preparing another delicious feast, brother. There's no need for modesty. The highest power would praise you itself if you could speak. Even if the highest power is my friend, we can't have a real conversation, can we? No, it's a shame you didn't get to teach me about friendship after all. Will I really be able to survive in the world unmasked? I think you'll just fine, Drop. Trick. I'm glad we met. I hope I'll be able to make a lot of new friends like you. In silence. I'm gonna keep this music. Okay. As I was saying, I hope the 2 games I played today were able to give you guys smiles. It definitely did on me. I thought I'd tear up at some point, but at the end, it's just too cute and wholesome. It actually was very wholesome. And I like that. I like games that make me feel like that. Not gonna lie, guys. I really like games that make me feel like this. So it was very, very pleasant, that little experience today. And I feel that was a very nice comeback because how long have I been away from actual streams? It's been a while. Like more than a week, I think. Let me check. Apart from, of course, the Discord stuff. It was exactly a week ago. The last time I streamed was exactly a week ago when I did the chess stream. Yeah. It was the chess stream the last time. Good stream today. I hope so. I personally had a great time. And I also realized a few things that might influence my content in the future. For example, not forcing myself to do certain things on stream that would be better off stream, and sometimes play some games on stream that I think could be a good time for all of us. Anyway, it seems very mysterious when I say it like this. I feel like Bilbo at his birthday when he sent the message to everyone and no one understood. In any case, once again, I hope all of you dwellers had a great time today. I hope you had fun. I hope you smiled. I hope you laughed. Because I did. And I hope that's something we shared. In any case, to anyone that is still interested by this, tomorrow we're going to have our movie night. And for once, the movies we're going to have for the program tomorrow are not exactly horror movies. We're going to watch Constantine and Willy's Wonderland. So if you want to actually just have kino, if you actually just want to have kino and have a good time and have fun, come by the Discord server tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central European Time. And we can watch the movies together. Otherwise, I should be streaming, I think, at worst on Wednesday. I will release a schedule for next week. By the way, next Saturday is the return of the Raz and Leo sidekick horror streams. We are back. We are back on the menu, and I am the one playing this time. I'm still deciding exactly the game that's going to be played, but yeah, we are back. The Leo and Raz collabs are back. So look forward to that. Otherwise, you all have a great great end of your week. I wish you a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night, depending on when you are in our big blue world. But for today, I'm gonna have to close the doors of the tavern for the day. I will wish all of you a great time and to take care. Odds Leo, everyone. Bye bye.